What is up, Hannah? Welcome to the Content Marketing Hacks podcast. I'm so glad to have you here.
Awesome. Happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So, Hannah, tell us about how did you get started in social media marketing?
Yeah, so my journey began right out of college. I was actually working for a cancer research facility, helping them with their marketing and fundraising. And after my time there, I was there for about 3 years. I jumped into my role at Ugly Mug Marketing. I really started off mostly as an account manager, helping small businesses and entrepreneurs really dive into Facebook and social media. Entrepreneurs and small business owners wear a lot of different hats. And so it's important for them to be able to pass some things off the plate, maybe some things that they aren't good at, or something that is a time suck for them. And so I really was filling that role for them, helping them manage all of their Facebook pages, whether that's or Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or whatever other platforms that they're present on. And in my role now, I still am somewhat client facing, but working more in the consulting side and helping people develop a strategy that's really going to help them get results while also managing my team of coordinators who now work more face to face with our clients.
Wow, that is awesome. So you started in when you were a teenager, right? And you use your expertise in social media marketing to help other entrepreneurs. So,
Yes.
why do you think what you do is important to the entrepreneurs?
What I do is it's all about what we're doing and it's about the results and helping them make money, right? Everyone wants to be successful and have a growing and thriving business. But
Yeah.
for me, it's also about making them feel like they can fully give me or my team ownership of their Facebook or Instagram accounts, that they don't have to worry about that anymore. That's one less thing that they have to think about or to process or to learn about. Our team can really take ownership of that and clear their plate so that they can have time to work on the things that they are really good at.
Hmm. So, what kind of result do you produce for your clients usually?
Yeah, so a lot of our clients, every client comes to us with a different goal. We work with clients who are at doctors' offices, surgical specialists. We work with people who are in the food and beverage industry or restaurants. And then we also work with people who are in the service industry, so HVAC companies, handyman companies. And each of them brings to the table their own unique set of, or their own unique goals that they're after as a company. So whatever their goals are, whether that's to generate more leads or generate more revenue for this quarter or for the year, my goal is to make sure that we're actually helping them reach that goal. So for example, my client who is in the HVAC industry, they install and service all different types of air conditioning units and furnaces. And for them, my goal is to help them generate more leads. Now, when we're generating those leads through Facebook, we're also tracking and measuring, okay, I don't want to just send you 100 leads. I want to make sure that those leads actually convert into money in your business. So we use a variety of different tools like Zapier and Google Sheets and their CRM system, Service Titan, in order to track and measure someone that comes in from Facebook and make sure that that person, at least we're able to get in contact with them. And if we can't convert them, we try and figure out why we didn't convert them. But if we did convert them, we're then measuring the lifetime value of that customer. You know, did they come back and book another appointment or tune up for their HVAC system? Did they later come back and purchase a new system with them? So it's all very unique and built on our clients' goals, but we try to implement some measurements and create some common ground on what are the results that we're after, what is the measuring stick that we're going to use to determine whether this campaign or working with us has been successful.
Hmm. Okay, that's actually a lot. Okay, I'm trying to comprehend everything, but all right. So, so you work as a social media manager, right?
Yes.
And what kind of challenge did you face when you were starting out, and how did you overcome that?
Yeah, when I was first starting out, do you mean starting out in my career or when we first start with a client?
When you first started with your clients, when
Yeah, when
you
we're
first
first
work.
starting out. Yeah,
Yeah.
when we're first starting with our clients, the biggest challenge is helping them figure out what their goals are. Because on
Mm.
Facebook and on Instagram, a lot of people think success is followers or is likes or is the amount of reach or the amount of views that your Instagram reels get. But the true results come in when you can correlate the results that you're getting on Facebook and that reach and those views. And you can actually prove that that's helping you make more money in your business. And that's a really big challenge for small business owners. They might not have the tools or the resources in order to make that connection. So we have to establish what do those goals look like and share with them the kind of results that we can provide that actually matter. So we can track a number of phone calls that are made. We can track number of leads that come in. We can track how many people visit their website. Those are actually going to be true measurements that show to us that we're helping them make more money.
Mm. Yeah. So, when you were first starting out in your career,
Mhm.
this did the agency already have the result, or did you start from nothing with them?
Yeah. So when I started at Ugly Mug, I think we had maybe 11 clients.
Wow.
And so it was really me hopping in, and my responsibility was to grow the department and scale the clients that we currently had. I think there were a lot of systems and processes that were in place, and ultimately, those 11 clients that we had at the time were with us and have continued to stay with us even until now because we were getting them results and we were proving that money was coming in to their business because of Facebook. So one of our
Mhm.
clients was a restaurant at the time. Another one was a bankruptcy attorney who we actually still work with today. And I think that those people have all stayed because not only have we continued to get them results, but we've also, over these last 4.5 years, brought new ideas to the table, created new pieces of content for them, have been creative in our approach, and ultimately shifted the strategy so that we can continue to get them more and more results over time.
Oh, wow. I love it. All right.
Mhm.
So, Hannah, I'm sure you have a lot of stories to tell. How do you get started in social media manager? But as I mentioned in intro, we are going to talk about developing social media strategy. So, what are the common mistakes that you see people make when doing social media marketing?
Yeah, I think the biggest mistake that people make is trying to keep up with the business next door. So, what I mean by that is if I'm a coffee shop and there's a coffee shop down the street from me, and I see that they're posting 10 times a day and they have all of these wonderful pieces of content, I suddenly, as an entrepreneur, small business owner of this coffee shop, get really overwhelmed and feel like I have to keep up with them. So, in,
Hmm.
I start throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. I start just doing all of these different things that aren't really strategic. I start posting 10 times a day and then ghost people for the rest of the week and don't show up on my Facebook page or on my Instagram page. And the mistake there is trying to keep up with them, right? We can't compare ourselves to the coffee shop down the street. But
Hmm.
the other mistake in that is we're not setting realistic goals for ourselves. When you're first getting started on your social media page, if your realistic goal is that you can only post 2, 3 times a week, that's okay. Set that goal and hold yourself accountable to actually posting that many times a week. Over time, you will train your followers, you will train the algorithm to show your content to the people that need to see it, but you have to start somewhere and you have to be consistent. You can't post 10 times on Tuesday and then not post for the rest of the week, like I mentioned, and then show up again next week, Thursday, and post 10 times again. You have to figure out what consistency is going to look like for you in your business.
Hmm. Yeah, that's right. And how many times you post right now per week?
Yeah, for us at Ugly Mug, we try and post at least 4 times a week. For others
Oh.
of our clients, we post twice a week. For some, it's only 1 time a week. Because
Mhm.
in addition to posting organic content, we're also running targeted ads to people that either like our page, have watched our videos, or interacted with us in some way, shape, or form. People who have visited our website, running retargeting campaigns. So we don't just rely on that organic content, but you never want someone to come to your page and see that the last time you posted was May of 2016, right? You want to prove that you're also providing relevant and helpful content in real time.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what your mistake was, right? And how about the people that, or maybe the clients that you work, what kind of mistake that they do?
Yeah, mistakes that our clients made, I would say, is hitting the boost post button on Facebook or hitting that boost post button on Instagram. There are
Oh,
far more objectives and better ways to target and more specific ways to target when you actually dive into Facebook Ads Manager. So, a big mistake is hitting that boost post button. When you click boost post, Facebook is essentially just kind of taking your money and trying to show your campaign to or your Facebook post to as many people as possible. But you miss out on some of those detailed targeting
mm,
opportunities, like I mentioned. So, being able to create an audience of people who went to your website, being able to create an audience of people who engaged with your Facebook page or watched a specific video. You miss out on a lot of those opportunities when you hit the boost post button. And so that's another common mistake that we see with our clients before they start working with us.
wow. Oh, so there's a boost post in Instagram. I've never seen it before. I think I only seen it
Yeah.
on Facebook.
Yeah, it doesn't say boost post. I think it says something different, but it's essentially the same thing as boost post.
Uh-huh.
But it's better to go into Facebook Ads Manager and create your Instagram campaign there rather than creating it within the Instagram app.
So boost post, the boost post is actually an ads, right?
Yes, it is still considered an ad, but the difference is when you click Boost Post, you're running an ad using creative and content that already exists on your page. And so anyone and everyone can see that. When you go into Ads Manager, you can still use something that exists on your page, maybe something that's performed really well that you want to get out to more people. But you can also create what we would call a dark ad or dark campaign. So something that only goes to a very specific audience of people and not everyone can see. So if I wanted to run an ad only to people who visited my website, I can do that. And no, it doesn't have to exist on my page anywhere. It doesn't have to live on my Instagram page. I can run it to that specific audience only.
Wow. Okay. So right now you don't use the boost post button. You just use the targeting ads.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Okay. Okay. So that's cool. So how do you apply the social media marketing on Facebook? Because I saw on your website you have what you do is you use social media marketing on Facebook and on Instagram. So how do you apply the social media marketing on Facebook?
I think you went on mute. There we go.
Okay. Did you hear what I'm saying?
I saw, all right, the last thing I heard is you went on our website and saw social media marketing.
Okay. So how do you apply social media marketing on Facebook? Because you also have that kind of service, right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
how do you apply that on Facebook?
Yeah, so we really try to work with our clients on developing a strategy instead of saying that Facebook is the only thing that we can use. So we want
Mm-hmm.
Facebook to be a tactic or a tool that we use. It's not the only part of the strategy. So Facebook, we want to make sure that that matches up with what they're sending out in email, or if they're doing some sort of direct mail campaign, we want the branding and the style and the messaging to match that as well. We also want it to match with what's on their website. So when we're first starting with a client, we want to make sure that the way that we're writing the posts and the way that the graphics look are in alignment with everything else messaging wise that they're producing. Even if we're not managing or writing blogs for them or putting content out on their website, we still want to make sure
Mm-hmm.
that we match and are in alignment with that brand overall. So it's
Mm-hmm.
really important for us when we're developing that strategy to ask them, what else is happening in your business at this time? How do
Yeah.
we fit into all of those different strategies that are happening on your website or happening on Google or happening on SEO with your SEO strategy? How do we fit into the big picture, and how can we work together to make sure that we're accomplishing that goal? So that might look like running some retargeting campaigns on Facebook. That might look like producing Instagram reel content. That might look like, making some regular Instagram feed content as well. It can look a lot of different ways. And so our goal is to make sure that all of those things are in alignment and have a really clear understanding of A, what the goal is, and B, what other pieces of the puzzle are
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah. Okay. So you use ads more than organic, or do you use both organic and
Yeah.
ads?
We use a combination of both. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So we'll be posting on their page organically, but there might be some specific ads that are also running that we're targeting to a specific audience, or that we're targeting to people who like their page. Because when you post organically, at least on Facebook, on average, only 2.6% of people see that post. So if you have 1,000
Wow.
followers, only 2.6% of those 1,000 followers are even going to see the post that you shared organically on your page. So it's to your advantage to run an ad. Maybe the ad is of that post, using that post, or maybe the ad is something different in order to get in front of those people who like your page.
Mm-hmm. When when you use the ads, that means the client should have a page, their own page, right?
Yes.
So does that mean that you only use marketing through your page, or do you consult them to create a post on their profile only? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So if they don't already have a page, we'll help them create the page, or we'll create the page for them. And one of two things happens depending on the type of client. If we're consulting with them and giving them guidance, meaning they're going to do it themselves and implement the strategy, we might we might help them build out a content calendar and say, these are the days to post. Here's your branding guidelines. Here are some templates for graphics. And we might pass that off to them and then help them and monitor them and answer questions. On the other hand, if they've hired us and completely passing off that responsibility to us, and they want us to manage the page, create the page, write the content, then we'll put everything together and actually post and publish it for them, and also manage the page and all of the campaigns. So they don't have to worry about anything. Or on the flip
Uh-huh.
side, again, if consulting, then we help put everything together and they actually implement everything.
Yeah, awesome. So has any of your clients do only organic marketing on Facebook?
Um, no, everyone has a combination of organic and paid content that's going out. I would say we do have a couple of clients on Instagram where we just post organically there and we don't run any Instagram ads for them. So one of those would be a coffee shop and bakery that we work with. So we like to post really fun
Mm-hmm.
Instagram reels just to spread some brand awareness and to get people excited about the new coffee lineup that's coming out, or the new cupcake of the month, or the cupcake of the week. So we use that as a
Yeah.
way to organically engage with people, and then we run those ads on Facebook.
All right. Okay. That's interesting. So you have launched 4,000 social media campaigns now, right?
Yeah.
And so can you give me two examples, just two examples of how your campaign looks like?
Yeah. So for my client that is an HVAC company, so we're trying to get leads for them to install new air conditioning systems in people's homes. So that campaign is essentially like a low ticket offer. So we're selling to their target audience, we're selling a $69 tune up. So they send a technician to someone's home and they make sure that their air conditioning unit is running properly. They clean out the coils, they run a bunch of tests. And so that is what we're selling. So the ad itself essentially says, "Hey, I'm making this up, greater Dallas area homeowners, we're offering our $178 tune-up for only $69 for this month only." And we give them a list of all the things that the technician is going to do when they come to their home. So we say they're going to clean the coils, they're going to check your system for this, they're going to check your duct work, they're going to take all of these steps to make sure that your system is running properly. And then at the end, we say, if you're not satisfied with the service, we'll give you your money back, 100% guaranteed. Or if you're not satisfied in any way, shape, or form, please let us know and we'll give you a refund. Now, on the graphic, we have a photo of a technician looking at his system and with a customer. And then I think there's like a cute little dog in the corner. And then at the bottom of the ad, the call to action says, get our $178 tune up for only $69. Sign up today. And then the button on there actually says sign up. When they click there, it auto-populates a form that is native to Facebook and Instagram. And so they actually don't have to fill out that much information because Facebook is already auto-populating their name, their phone number, and their email address. And then when they submit that, we actually use a tool called Zapier to get the lead to come from Facebook and dump into a spreadsheet for them in Google Sheets so that they can track and see, all right, yep, this customer we were able to contact and they ended up scheduling an appointment and we showed up for the appointment and we made X amount of dollars because of that campaign. So that's an example of what a lead generation campaign looks like for us on Facebook, whether it's a heating and air conditioning company or whether it's our coffee shop client. We also use that type of campaign for them too, to help them grow their email list. And so we get people to sign up for their email list using that lead form, and we offer them a free cupcake on their birthday, and then also send them a 15% off coupon that they can use. And people get really excited about that. That's a really good incentive for them to want to purchase. And
free cupcakes.
Yeah, free cupcakes.
Wait, so is this a paid leads or a free leads? Because
These are
you mentioned about the price, right? Do they pay to get the thing?
Yes, so it's a paid lead. So typically for our heating and air conditioning client, the cost per lead on those campaigns is anywhere from, I would say, $7 right now to maybe $75. So for that tune-up, we try and keep it on the lower end, $20 or less. But if we're trying to get someone to purchase a new heating and air conditioning system, that's thousands of dollars. That's anywhere from $3,500 to maybe even $15,000. So we know that we can afford to pay a little bit more for a lead. Now, for my client that is in or is a coffee shop and bakery, if we're just trying to get people on their email list, we don't want to be paying $75 per lead. So those leads are actually typically less than $1 just to get someone signed up on their email list. And then it creates another opportunity or another way for them to connect with those customers. And they actually own and have that customer information. Because as you know, on Facebook, it's really hard. You don't have that person's contact information. So if the only way that you're communicating with your customers is through Facebook, that's kind of a dangerous game to be playing. You could log into Facebook tomorrow and your page could be gone. So it's really important for us to get that followers information and have it living in our MailChimp account or our Constant Contact or our CRM system so that we have another way of communicating with them.
Awesome. So two of those campaigns that you mentioned was using ads, right?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
both of them, both of the leads that came
Yes.
through that. Okay, I'm trying to put some right words here, so it's kind of struggling. Okay, so do any of those leads have to fill out the form in order to be their own leads?
Yes, so they willingly fill out the form and give us their contact information. Yep. So they don't have to fill it out, but we try to incentivize them to fill it out by creating a sense of urgency on the ad. So
Uh,
saying this offer is only valid until the end of the month, or you're going to get a free cupcake if you fill out this form. So they don't, the person who's filling out the form, they're not paying or doing anything. They're just simply submitting their information. But on the client side, they're paying to get that person's information. Um,
yeah, and
yeah.
also paying for the cupcakes, right? So that means,
Yeah.
wow.
Yes.
Okay, nice. And oh, so you also have the information of the address, because how else are you going to send the cupcake, right? You also have their
Yeah.
address. Awesome.
So we have their email address and we have their phone number, but they have to the customer has to physically come into the store in order to redeem that offer.
Oh, okay. Okay, that
Yes.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, and so since you have launched a lot of campaigns here, how about you tell us your past failures in launching a campaign, and how did you go? How did you overcome that?
Yeah, I've had a lot of failed campaigns. You
Yeah.
can't assume that the first thing that you try is going to work. You can't
Yep.
assume that the first hook or the first opening line is going to resonate with people. And you can't
Mm-hmm.
assume that the incentive that you're offering to them, whether it's a free cupcake or, offering the heating and cooling tune up at a discounted rate, you can't assume that either of those are going to work. So, what I've learned over time is doing a lot of split testing pays off, but
Mm-hmm.
making sure that you're only split testing one specific thing. So I might start my campaign and I might split test two different images against one another to see which one actually gets people to stop scrolling. Or I might split test a different call to action button on the ad. And you can actually do split testing on organic content now on Facebook through Facebook Creator Studio. There's an option to say, serve this image to my audience, but then maybe to a different percentage of my audience, also send them this image. And see which one actually gets more likes or gets more shares or gets more comments or interaction. So that is one thing that I struggled with initially is I would launch a campaign and I would be like, man, it didn't work. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But what you have to do is be really diligent about doing those different tests and making sure that you're figuring out the perfect combination between an opening line and call to action and incentive and the graphic that goes along with it.
Mm. Okay, so the graphic. All right. You test on the graphics and also the button. And
Yes.
is there anything else that you test, like
Yeah.
copy?
Yes, we'll test copy too.
Okay. Okay. All right. How about the graphic? Do you post picture only, or do you have videos? What kind of content do you put in the ads?
Yeah, it depends on the type of ad that we're running. So video can be really great and engaging, but people also have a really short attention span, right? So we don't want the video to be
Mm-hmm.
too long where we're not really
Boring.
capturing their attention or we're not really yeah, we're boring. Paying attention to us. We want it to be a really engaging and really good length video. So anything from like a minute and 30 to 2 minutes if it's like a cold audience. If it's longer than that, we're probably going to lose them. If we're targeting people who already have buy-in and really like our brand or our product, then maybe we have a longer form video because those people are really committed to us as a company, right?
Mm-hmm.
So video can work really well. But images can work really great too. And what we found is actually having someone's face on the image or on the
Yeah.
graphic usually resonates with people a lot more than if it's just some sort of abstract thing that we create in Photoshop or in InDesign or in Canva. Uh, Typically, when we have someone's face, that works really well because what we've learned over time too is that people buy from other people. They don't
Hmm.
buy from us as the brand or from our clients as their brand or their company. People want to buy from someone because their friend had a really great experience or their parents had a really great experience with that company or with that product. So the more that we can show those family members or those friends or other people who look like the people that we're trying to target, that is to your benefit as a company.
Yeah, and also it fits the context of the platform, right? Because it's Facebook, usually people want to see pictures, so it
Yes.
makes sense why we have to put pictures there. So especially people's picture, the face of
Hmm.
of something. Yeah. And okay, so let's talk about content. Okay, so it seems that you drive a lot of traffic through that ads. Okay, and how do you create content on ads? What kind of elements
Yeah.
do you put
So
on the ads?
yeah. So for us, the graphics and the type of video content is really important. Making sure that that is on brand and matches the strategy and the goals that we're after. Writing copy is an important step in content creation too, because you want to make sure that you have the right call to action, that you have the right tone and overall messaging, that you have the right hook at the opening line of your copy to get someone to read the next line. I remember when I first started at Ugly Mug Marketing, my boss told me, "Do you know what the key to copywriting is?" And I was like, "No, what is the key to copywriting?" And he said, "Getting someone to read the next line." Because ultimately that's what
Oh,
we're trying
yeah,
to
yeah,
do. We're trying to get them to make it
yeah.
all the way down to the bottom of our post. And then we're trying to get them to actually purchase or show up at our restaurant or visit our website or fill out our lead generation form, right, to get their email address. We're trying to get them to do something. So in the copy and in the image, we have to make them feel like they trust us, right? We want to make them feel good about our company or about themselves. And that kind of comes to what we call the natural progression. So when we're running Facebook ads or just trying to get someone to like our posts or visit our Facebook page, our Instagram page, we're ultimately trying to take someone from a stranger to a friend to a customer and then to an evangelist. And so when we're creating content, we have to think about how are we going to talk to a stranger in order to get them to turn into our friend on social media? Or how are we
Hmm.
going to get that person who is a friend to actually turn into a paying customer? Or how are we going to get that customer to pay us for our product or service, but then how are we going to give them a really great experience so that they become an evangelist? And an evangelist is someone who goes out and tells everyone that they know about how great your product or service is or how great your company is and how much they love it. And so when we're creating content, we're thinking about each one of those people in that stage. So how do we connect with the stranger? How do we connect with the people who are our friends already? How do we turn those friends into customers? And then how do we get those customers to turn into evangelists?
Evangelist, you mean like a fan? A
Yeah.
fan. Okay.
Yes.
Because I'm not familiar with that words. Okay, it's a fan.
Yeah. Yeah, a fan.
All right. So is there a formula that you follow to create content? Because you don't
Yes.
just create content, right? You
Yeah. So we have a calendar that we typically follow for our clients. So we say, all right, on Mondays, we have essentially different categories for each of our clients. So on Mondays, we might say every Monday we're going to share educational content. Every Wednesday, we're going to share a customer testimonial, whether that's in video form or a picture of them and a quote. Or every Friday, we're going to spotlight a new product or service, or we're going to spotlight one of our employees. And so that gives us a or a roadmap to be able to create content in each one of those buckets. And so it's very easy for us to build out a calendar for a month or for 2 months or maybe for 3 months because we know what types of content we need to fill in every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Or maybe we're only posting twice a week. So maybe we post every Monday and Tuesday. And then that way, too, the client feels like they can still post when they have something new and exciting happening in real time because I'm not their business every single day. So that's hard for me to post really fresh updates. So having that content calendar built out in those different categories of, okay, this is the type of content that we need on this day and on the next day and the day after that, that helps us communicate to the client what they can expect us to post and gives us, again, guidelines for what kinds of content we need to post so that we're not just posting anything and everything.
Yeah. So how do you differentiate between posting organic content and ads content? Because you have the calendar and you said that you post 4 times a week. So how many times is it that you post organic? How many times you post on ads?
Yeah. So we'll post 4 times a week organically. And then ads will start at the first of every month and they'll run all month long. So that we'll
Uh-huh.
start with probably like, I would say anywhere from 5 to 10 ads. And those 5 to 10
Wow.
ads run for the entire month. And then while those ads are running, there will also be like 12 posts, 12 to 16 posts that go out throughout the month too. So
Mhm.
again, that combination of paid and organic.
This is also for your clients, or is this for you only?
This is for our clients.
Okay. Oh, that's actually a lot. 12 ads, you say?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So is it just one ads, or is it including retargeting ads?
That includes retargeting ads.
I see. Okay. So what kind of content should we put and not put in order to get people to turn into customers?
Yeah. I think one mistake that people make is all of their content has the call to action of buy my stuff, right? Or visit our
Mm-hmm.
webpage and buy this. What we have to do on social media is we have to build a relationship with our customers. Social media is really unique because we have the opportunity to talk with them and interact with them. It's not like a television ad or a billboard or something that they get in the mail. We can't talk to
Mm-hmm.
them with those different types of platforms. So social
Yeah.
media is unique because we can build that relationship with them. And so it's important for our content to build a relationship and create opportunities to ask them questions and for them to message us and for them to know that we're actually going to respond to those messages. That's a huge mistake that people make. They'll run a post and it'll have a bunch of comments on it and they don't respond. And I'm like, you
Oh,
have to
yeah.
you have to respond, right? Because you want them to trust you. You want them to build a relationship with you. And
Yeah,
it's a
I
missed
hate it when it happens.
opportunity. Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
Think about like for you, if you comment on someone's post and you have a question and they never respond to you, you're like, oh, well, that's a bummer because I really needed that
Yeah.
question answered so that I could buy the product or place my order. And so it's really important for brands to do that. And I think posting content that asks them a question and asks for their feedback or shows the faces of the people behind your business, that makes them feel like they know you a little bit more. And that moves them more from stranger into friend. And then, they might stay in the friend zone for a little bit before they move into a customer. But I think that content of asking them questions and engaging with them in that way and responding to their direct messages and responding to their comments is really important in moving them from that stranger to a friend.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the kind of content that we should not put, right? We should not put a content that asks for a sale. We should put something that asks questions. Is that right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So, what kind of question do you ask in that ads?
Yeah. So an example of that is our coffee shop that we work with. We asked our followers on Instagram and on Facebook if they preferred iced or hot drinks. And that might seem like a silly question to ask them, but it gave us a good feel for our customers looking for more iced drink options, or are they looking for more hot drink options? And
Huh.
it also gave them the opportunity to comment on there. And then when we run that as an ad, that may have been organically posted on our page initially, but then we ran it as an ad to people who like the page. And it's kind of funny because when you do that, those comments become social proof. So I might see that my mom commented on that and said, "Oh,
Oh.
I like iced drinks." And so I'm like, "Oh, well, I saw my mom commented on it. Now I want to comment on it and say, "Oh, I like hot drinks and this is my favorite drink at their coffee shop." So asking them questions like that. What's your favorite thing on our menu? Do you like iced coffee or hot coffee better? Or, do you prefer tea or coffee? That allows us too to learn a little bit more about our customers and see what kind of other options we should be adding to our menu, or what are things that we should take off of our menu because they're not selling well. So
Mhm.
it again makes them feel valued because we're asking for their input or just asking them to engage with us. We're replying to those, and then we're making changes in our business because of those.
Yeah. Okay. So I can see that you are from these ads, you are turning the people that have never known about the coffee now know about the coffee, right? And you are
Yeah,
turning them into people that just know them, right?
yeah.
Okay. So how do we turn them into customers?
Yeah, so that comes into play with retargeting ads. So if someone watches our video about iced coffee, or someone watches our video about hot coffee that's on our menu, or um,
Mm-hmm.
a new cupcake that's rolling out, if they watch that video, that's someone who's probably interested in our services, or they're interested in our coffee shop. So I might run an ad just to those people that says, "Hey, next time you come in, take a screenshot of this and you'll get 15% off your next purchase." So then we track, okay, how many people actually came in and showed us that coupon or showed us that offer. Or we might, with those lead generation campaigns that I was talking about, if they're on our email list, we might send an offer strictly to people who joined our email list from Facebook, so that we can track and measure how many of those people are actually utilizing that offer or came in because of that special announcement that was on Facebook, or that special announcement that was only on that only came out via email.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so two things here. So there are two ways that you did. It is through targeting and from email. That's how the
Yeah.
sale comes in. Okay, and how about we turn customers into evangelists?
Yeah.
How do you do that? Yeah.
That part is tricky because that part doesn't always have a lot to do with me. It has a lot to do with the client's business, or if someone comes to my company and experiences our services and now they're a paying customer. My goal
Mm-hmm.
is to give them a really phenomenal experience. My goal is to make them feel truly valued and to make them feel like they're being taken care of really, really well. And I do that by over communicating, sometimes giving them weekly updates, making sure that I'm telling them how we're reaching their goals, letting them know that I'm working on their campaigns on a daily basis, or that I'm checking in on their page on a daily basis. We do that by sending them special gifts and trying to make sure that we know about them personally, not just professionally. So we want our clients to become our friends as well. One of my clients was just on a trip in Iceland with her mom. And so I sent her a quick message and I said, "Hey, I saw you're in Iceland. I hope you're having a phenomenal trip. It looks awesome." And so then that allows me the opportunity the next time that we meet to talk with her about her trip, because I know that that's something that's happening in her personal life. And so that's really important to making her a fan of not only me, but a fan of Ugly Mug Marketing, because I care about more than just the working relationship. I also care about what's happening in her life outside of work.
Oh, okay. You mean turning your customers into your evangelists?
Yes.
I thought. What I was asking about, how do you turn the clients, customers, into their evangelists?
Yes. So
Yeah.
again, that's tricky because that comes in on their end. So
Uh
the coffee
huh.
shop example, they
Yeah.
have to make sure that their team is giving remarkable service and that they are people aren't having to wait for a really long time for their coffee when they're in the drive-through, that their staff is friendly and has a smile on their face. Like those are all things that make up the experience of coming to the coffee shop, and that's ultimately what's going to turn someone into an evangelist. People can go anywhere to get their coffee, but if they feel really special and cared for, and like the person who's taking their order remembers them from the day before and memorizes their order and already knows what they want, those are the things that make people feel cared for and make them feel attached to a brand and have a really good feeling about a brand or a company. So that's not something that I can provide with my clients. That's something that comes on their end. They have to make sure that the customer is having a really great experience so that they turn into an evangelist or a fan of their coffee shop.
Uh-huh, I see. So it all comes down to being personalized, right? In order
Yes.
to make them a fan. Okay.
Yeah.
So awesome. So now that you have learned, you've been working for how many years now, as a social media marketing manager?
Yeah. About 5 years now.
Wow. Okay. So 5 years, 4,000 campaigns, and I'm gonna ask you one advice. So what's one trick that you learned about social media marketing?
One trick that I have
Yeah.
learned about social media marketing.
Yeah. Maybe something that
Um,
not many people talk about.
okay. So Facebook has a tool called Facebook Ads Library. So if you go to Google, search for Facebook Ads Library, you can actually see any and every campaign that is currently running on Facebook for any business. So if I wanted to see what ads Taco Bell is running, I can search
Hmm.
Taco Bell in Facebook Ads Library and I can see every single campaign that they're running right now. And I think that
Mm.
that's really important for people when they're looking at competitors and trying to figure out what's working well for their competitors, or if they want to look at another restaurant in a different market and see what's working well there. So if I am a pizza shop, maybe I want to go and see what another pizza shop in another state or another country, what kinds of ads are they running or what kind of offers are they promoting in order to get people interested in coming to their restaurant. Facebook Ads Library is definitely a hidden secret or a good trick when you are feeling like you can't come up with very creative content, and you need some ideas, or when you just want to spy on your competitors.
Wow, that's a good trick. I never know that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks for the tips. All right. So Hannah, we are close to the end today. So what's the first thing people can do today after listening to the episode?
Yeah. The first thing that people can do is to set a consistent goal. So if you're not posting every single day on your Facebook page or on your Instagram or your Twitter or LinkedIn or YouTube, that's okay. Figure out a consistent schedule that you can post. So set a goal. I'm going to post 3 times every single week for the next month. Right. So we're just
Hmm.
starting off into April. It's not too late to start that goal. And I think that that's a really great place to start, being realistic about your expectations for how frequently you're going to post content, so that you can actually post really high quality content, because it's not always about how many posts that you make or the quantity, it's about the quality. We don't want to post just to post. We want to post really high quality content.
Wow, that is awesome. So, where can people find more about you?
You can visit our website at uglymugmarketing.com. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Ugly Mug Marketing on both platforms, or you can connect with me on LinkedIn and you can find me there at Hannah Acosta. And I would love to connect with you there.
Awesome, Hannah. So, thank you for sharing your ideas and insights with us. Really happy to have you here.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And for the listeners, I'll